Casos y Pendejadas Podcast.
We are at 228 subscribers. Help us get to 1,000. Thank you so much. That said, let me introduce you to the Manhattan Mexicano, David De Leon, and myself, Mark Salinas. We are PYP Boxing, bringing you another boxing weekend recap. The big fight over the weekend was Zhang versus Joyce 2. Zhang wins over Joyce once again after beating him in 6 rounds 6 months ago. This time he takes him out in 3 rounds. Zhang looks good, strong, and quick for his size. He can be very entertaining and can make his opponent a lot of money, David.
No doubt about it, Mark. And it was not a fluke. It was not a fluke. Big Bang Zhang. Hey, it kind of sucks you don't pronounce his name Zhang, right? Big Bang Zhang. That has a ring to it, man. But it's Big Bang Zhang, and he stopped the juggernaut Joyce in the 3rd round with a monstrous right hook. The Chinese southpaw looked in control from the very beginning this time around. Zhang looks for real. Joyce was a good fighter, and Zhang beat him even easier in the rematch. But I want to see Zhang in with some of the top names in the division. Let's see him in with Wilder, Joshua, Fury, Usyk, Ruiz. Bring them all on, man. And can you imagine how much the first guy that decides to fight Zhang in China is going to make? Chingles of cash, bro. Chingles of cash. Wait, is professional boxing even allowed in China? Is it? No, you don't know? No, it is, bro. It was banned in the 60s. But they brought it back in the 80s. I Googled it, whatever. My point is, Zhang, he has the potential to be a huge star in China. And ladies and gentlemen, in China, let me tell you, this guy's for real. You got a southpaw with speed and power. He knows how to set it up. And those are dangerous characteristics for a man that is 6'6", 280. I'm on the bandwagon. Get behind him. He's 40 years old. Get behind him right now because that window will close. But I think there's still a lot to look forward to with Big Bang Zhang.
Big Bang Zhang is definitely going to make a lot of money. I believe probably in his very next fight. That's how big of a bang he made. And his opponent's going to make a lot of money as well. Even if it's for a belt, not a belt, it doesn't matter. I think it's a big show out there. Moving on, later on that evening, we had Zepeda versus Hitchins. David, hey, wait, we're doing the show, David. Dave, we're doing the show.
What happened, man? Oh, shit. My bad, dude. I'm still sleeping after watching that damn fight.
It was a snoozer.
You snooze, you lose. Well, Zepeda lost. And let me tell you, man, I haven't watched every Zepeda fight, but I've never seen him in a bad fight. And I guess it's the first time for everything. Hitchins and Zepeda really stunk out the joint on Saturday. First, let me say this. I want to be upfront here. There's no doubt Hitchins is very skilled. He's a talented fighter. He's smart and he's quick. Look, man, despite his skills, this kid cannot move the needle fighting this way. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's hard to build up a fan base or a demand to be seen if you're 1-1-2-ing, grabbing and spinning your way through fights. That's what he did just about every round. And I'm going to spread the blame around here because Zepeda let him, Mark.
Yeah, Zepeda looked 40 years old. Looks like this is the end of the road for him. When he sees this on tape, he's probably going to decide that this is the end of the road for himself as well. For Hitchins, I'm hoping that this was just the game plan for this fight. I hope this isn't what he's about. Maybe it was just the way the fight went. I'm hoping for his next fight we see something different. He's not going to sell any tickets doing this. Even Mayweather, as a young up-and-comer, understood that you got to knock people out. Remember, Pretty Boy Floyd was a knockout artist.
That's right. Before there was Money Mayweather, there was Pretty Boy Floyd at 130 and 135 pounds. That guy liked to fight. As he got older, of course, he got more cautious. But I think Hitchins is already trying to be Money instead of Pretty Boy. But you know what I find interesting, Mark, is when you have a guy that depends on speed like Hitchins does, you absolutely must attack the body. And when he's picking you off, you have to sell out at some times. I've sparred guys that were faster than me. I know that feeling. I know what it feels like to have the punches just come out of nowhere. You don't see them. It makes you hesitant. But there are things you can do to beat speed. You got to remember, Vernon Forrest, when he beat Shane Mosley, he was famous for saying, young fighters out there, you want to know how to beat speed? Use the jab. Double it, triple it. Mix it up, right? But use the jab against speed. You can beat speed with timing. That takes more of a skill and a craft to develop with timing. But if you can't do any of that stuff, you cut off the ring, you smother them, and you work the body. And Zepeda didn't do any of that.
No, he didn't. Looks like it is the end of the road for Zepeda, but if it is, he had a hell of a run. Connor Benn and Orozco. Connor Benn, the son of Nigel Benn, goes 10 rounds with Rodolfo Orozco winning a unanimous decision 99-91 on 2 cards, 96-94 on the third. Ben improves to 22-0 with 14 KOs, while Orozco drops to 32-4 with 24 KOs. This man came in there with over 30 fights, and he's only 24 years old. I like what I saw in him. He's got 4 losses, but I think he's young enough to turn this career around. I hope he gets better trainers or something. I like what I saw. I mean, I know he got blown out. He's 24. I could see him having a good career.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting seeing Ben at 154. I don't think this will be his weight class going forward, but he still looked quick. He looked strong, and he was aggressive. He put a beating on Orozco, man. That guy kept coming. Remember Duke from Rocky when he said, and the man kept coming after you. That's what Orozco was doing, bro. He was coming at Ben. He was even backing Ben up into the ropes several times throughout the fight. And he touched him up a little bit, but honestly, he was so limited. Ben was never really in any trouble. I think it was the perfect matchup for Ben coming off an 18-month layoff. You had a guy who was going to give you rounds, who was durable and was going to try to press you. This guy pressed Ben. Ben obviously was able to push back, and he shook up this man a few times. And even though Ben isn't really a power puncher, he was throwing chingazos, and Orozco was there for it and took it all. But yeah. I really think Ben needed those rounds after an 18-month layoff. Mark, and some people are making a big deal about him returning without having settled the appeal with the British Board of Boxing Commissions. What do you think about that?
Well, I think if it's within the rules and he can fight, he should be able to fight and make money, for his family. Once they suspend him again, that's a different story. But if any, right. Whatever commission he's fighting under allows him to fight, I believe a man should be able to make money for his family.
Fair enough. So you were all right with Margarito fighting in after the whole Melt Mosley incident, huh?
100%.
Hey, I went to that fucking fight, bro. I went to the Margarito Pacquiao, so same here. But that said, we do not, at Putazos y Pendejadas, condone cheating of any kind.
None whatsoever. That's why we look up to Nonito Donaire on this channel, right, David?
Absolutely. If there's one man that we believe wholeheartedly in our deepest part of our soul is not a drug cheat, it's Nonito Donaire.
That's right, guys. Thank you very much. Remember, we're at 228 subscribers. Let's get to 1,000. Help us out with that 3-punch combo. Give it to him, Dave. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for joining us. Sale.
Peace.